Hi guys, it's Andrew here from Eastonmade Ultra today, and welcome back to the Eastonmade channel. I am over here at Stonemaker. This is something you guys haven't seen for quite a while. This has been a long project for us to get these things tweaked, to get them running, to get them performing the way we would like to have stuff perform in Eastonmade. We have taken the cycle time on these machines. They were right around a minute before, and we've got them down to 30 seconds. So if you're looking for a machine that is going to pump out paver blocks and hollow core blocks, whatever kind of a concrete block you want, this is the machine. If you're not aware of what a Stonemaker is, welcome. Here it is, guys. This thing's awesome. This will make whatever type of concrete block you want to make. It'll make just about anything. We're actually making right now we're making interlocking hollow core block. This is a half block. There is a mold for a full block. We have them set up over there. I will show you them on the next video, or maybe the video after that, how these things actually interlock together. These things are really cool because they're a seismic block. These things will interlock together. There is no concrete, there's no mortar joint in them. The level of skill you need to apply these things, to install them, is very, very minimal. So if you are in an area where there's lots of seismic events, this might be something that's worth you watching. But that's not all these things will do. This thing will do, that's a hollow core block. These will do any kind of block you want. So there's something for a fire pit or a walkway, depending on which way you flip it. There's a 4x4 paver. It has a textured top on it. There's a 4x8 with a textured top. There is a standard hollow core block with a split face on it, so if you want something decorative. And then there is a larger paver there with a design on the top of it. So whatever you want to make with this thing, you can make. That's the fun thing about this. So if you're into if you're into hardscaping, if you are a mason, if you're having a hard time getting blocks, if the shipping on blocks is expensive, you happen to own a gravel business, this is something that's worth you paying attention to, because you can make these blocks for about 70 to 80% less than what you can purchase them for. And this thing will do 2 cycles a minute, like I said. On pavers, you're looking at 12 pavers a minute, 12 4x8 pavers a minute, or 24, I guess. You're doing 24 pavers a minute out of this machine. You're doing 6 hollow core blocks out of it a minute. You're gonna put a pile of material out the back of one of these machines with a minimal amount of effort. So what we have here, guys, we have a mixer on it that mixes the cement, mixes the aggregate. It dumps it into the hopper here. The hopper then moves ahead, and then it fills up the mold, and then the top punch is actually what forms the block, and then the plywood there will spit out, and then it continues down this track. We can make this track as long as you want. You do need to have a guy at the end of this to unload it. So typically with one of these machines, to make it really efficient, you need 2 or 3 guys running it to make it incredibly efficient. The mix itself is just a mixture of sand and stone dust. I will have a video next on that. That'll be the next video, I think, is on the sand and stone dust, how to actually mix the cement for it. And then you just use a bag of Portland cement for it. It's pretty standard basic stuff. Right now, this particular one is running on a 480 volt motor with a piston pump on it. This is a really nice setup. It runs nice and cool, so depending on what climate you're in, this is gonna be a nice setup. We can do these with a gas engine and a diesel engine too. So there are options for you. Anyways, guys, I'll quit rambling. I'll show you how this thing works, because it's really, really cool how it functions and how it operates. Like I said, if you're into this type of work, this is something that's definitely worth you looking at. These guys all think this is hilarious. If you run into something like that, you can literally just pick that right back up, throw it back in the hopper, and make it again. So if you screw up, you can fix stuff. Right, Chair?
That's right.
Well guys, as you can see, that thing works incredibly slick. We have a handful of adjustments we need to make on this one. Normally when we go from one block to another, there's a couple of settings with the proximity switches that need to be adjusted. That's pretty common for these, but for our first run of these particular half blocks, I think we did pretty good. So we only have the one on there that I messed up myself, and those will harden just the same as any other hollow core block. And you can see that those are about that big. And the reason why they're half blocks is for this interlocking system. So what we have, I'll show you us building this wall here because we're going to try this once we get going. But that's how those interlock together. So it's an interlocking hollow core block. You fill the center with rebar and concrete, and then every second block will be staggered one way or the other, and that's going to provide structure, provide support for it. So if you are in an area where there's seismic events, this would be the best way to do that. How do you know that you have good quality blocks though? That's the big question I've always had here. How do you know you have a good quality block? The way you test these is once they dry, once they've spent about 14 or 15 days drying, you're going to use a Humboldt hammer to test the compressive strength of these things. Normally, a standard block, a standard cement block is going to be between 2,500 and 4,000 psi of compressive strength. Obviously, depending on which concrete you use, what mixture you use, you can vary that drastically depending on your application. So the nice thing about this machine is we can build it to suit you and what you need to do and what blocks you need to do. And as long as it's a block that can be formed, we can make it for you. So that's a really, really cool thing. We always have standard stuff like a hollow core block, paver stones, all that kind of stuff. We have those standard things. If you need something custom special, we can do that. And the nice thing about this, like I said before, is it doesn't have to be concrete, guys. If you can compress something and form it, you can probably mix it in the mixer and put it through the machine. That there was actually a half mix. We wanted to try these blocks first just to make sure that they're going to dry before we did a full batch of them. But those turned out really, really well. Handful of adjustments we need to make, but nothing major, nothing critical by any means. So we'll probably mix a full batch here later and do another set of them. There's corners and stuff that we make with this particular set of molds. So anyways guys, if you liked the video, give her a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button on the bottom. Please share this video. If you're out here and you know somebody that is in the stone business, that's in the gravel business, does hardscaping, a mason, anybody of the sort, please share this video with them. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm going to leave the toll-free number for Stonemaker down along the bottom here, and that toll-free number is just for Stonemaker. That's going to go to Finn. So if you call that number looking for a wood splitter, you're going to be talking to Finn the Stonemaker, guys. So there's no so only call that number if you're looking for something Stonemaker specific. If you want to talk to Finn, by all means give him a call. He's a great guy. He's a good guy to visit with. He's a wealth of knowledge in just about every topic. So if you just have a notion to call Finn to talk to him, then by all means you go right ahead. Anyways guys, like I said, this machine works fantastic. Give her a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. I'll keep you in the loop of what's going on with these things because you're going to see a lot more of them here in the future. Anyways guys, thanks a lot.